Hi everybody, welcome back to Chasing Tails Dog Training. Rebecca, welcome back to our monthly Q&A. I'm excited, I actually got some really good questions this month. First and foremost, I hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July. Hope everybody was safe, everybody kept their dogs home, everybody kept all their fingers. Let's just go ahead and dig right into it because I definitely want to get through some of these questions. Got quite a few of them here. I'm going to have to filter a couple of them out just to save for next time. One of the ones I got was, when can you start training a puppy? And honestly, the answer is the moment you bring them home. You're going to want to start working on manners and what's expected in your household, in your home. When it comes to doing like a puppy training or a puppy class, I recommend waiting until about 12 weeks because you want to make sure that you've got a couple of those parvo distemper vaccines under their belt. Make sure that they're safe just in case any other dogs are carrying anything or carried something through. Just want to make sure that they're safe. But at home you can start working on simple things like you can chew on these toys, you can't chew on the furniture. You can start working on the name game, teaching them what their name is, to where basically you're just going to say their name a whole bunch of times like, Fluffy! Oh, Fluffy! Hi, Fluffy! Just make sure that you say their name a lot and you get really excited whenever they acknowledge that you're calling them by whatever name you've chosen for them. That's kind of some ways to kind of get you started. But the moment that you bring them home, start working with them. Start doing little things. You don't have to have full-blown 3-hour training sessions, but start letting them know what their boundaries are. Another one that I got was, do I need to consider breed when training? Yes, oh my god, yes. Here's the thing. If you could take any of my group classes, whether it's the puppy or the adult basics, I'm going to teach you everything that a dog should know. It's going to be those basics. Sit, watch, touch, lay down, heel, loose leash walking, things like that every dog should know just to be a polite and respectable member of society. But you also have to look at when you're looking at training, you're looking at getting a dog, you really need to consider what breed are you getting. For example, I've worked with huskies. I probably will never get a husky again in my life because I don't have the time and energy that a husky needs me to put into them. I don't want to have to find them a job. Like, I am too busy with between my kid and training other people's dogs and my husband and trying to have a life of my own. I don't have what it takes to take care of a husky anymore. So it's really important that when you're looking at breed, you look at what was that breed bred to do. Is it something that's going to work in your home? If you're going to look at, like, you're looking at small dogs because you want just a cute little fluffy lap dog thing, you probably don't want to look at like a Jack Russell Terrier because they're hunting dogs. They were bred to hunt rodents. And so you're going to have all kinds of problems with digging, and they might not want to sit on your lap because they got other more important things to do in their mind. So it's important that whatever breed you choose, you kind of look at training, like, how is this going to fit into my life? You can always reach out to a trainer if you're like, hey, like, this is the kind of dog that I was thinking of. Here's a little bit of my lifestyle. Do you think this might be a decent fit? And we can let you know whether or not your lifestyle may or may not clash with a particular breed. Or we might say, you know, if you're looking at this breed, here's some things that you might want to kind of consider to make sure that we can get some of that natural instinct. Find a good game or something to help them release that natural instinct that isn't going to ruin your life. Like digging holes in your backyard if you have a terrier, or escaping your yard when you have a husky. There's definitely ways around it, but it depends on how much you want to put into that dog and what your particular lifestyle is. Like I said, I'm too lazy to have a husky at this point in my life because I don't want to put all the work into it. But that doesn't mean that huskies are bad dogs by any means. I have worked with some phenomenal huskies. They're just, I don't have the time and the oomph for them, and that's okay. That's why I'm not getting a husky. Another one that I got that I was, it's one of those that if you would have asked me 5 or 10 years ago would have baffled me, and it was, how do I get my dog to enjoy a car ride? And in my experience, most dogs absolutely love and adore car rides. Like, we're going somewhere exciting and I get to go with you? Yes! But there are some dogs that don't find car rides enjoyable. And really what that's going to come down to is determining why your dog does not want to be in the car. Do they not want to be in the car because they had a negative experience in a car before? Do they not want to be in the car because they're plain and simply getting motion sickness? Do they just get car sick? This is something that you can absolutely talk with your veterinarian about. They might suggest something like Dramamine or maybe Serenia if this is true car sickness. If it's more of like an anxiety or fear related, you can definitely start by just sitting in the car with them. Just sit in the car, don't drive anywhere, just hang out, listen to some tunes, feed them some good snacks until they're calm. Then once they're calm, get out of the car, move on about your day. And once they get in the car and they're excited to get in the car with you because they know it's just going to be a hangout session and we're just going to hang out, we're maybe going to have some snacks, we're going to listen to some music, then try taking your car for just a little drive. So like maybe just around the block. Nothing big, just enough to be like, yep, the car moves sometimes and that's okay. And reward them the whole time. Make sure you're talking to them. Make sure you're telling them what a good boy, what a good girl they are. Offer them treats. And then you can start to build your duration and you can start to make longer and longer and longer trips. That being said, it's important that whenever you take your dog in the car, make sure that you pay attention. Are you only taking them when things are scary? Are you only taking them when you're going to the veterinarian? Are you only getting in the car when you're going to the groomer? When they get in the car and those are the only places that they associate the car with, of course they're not going to really like it. They're like, oh my god, I gotta get a bath and like I might get poked and my nails are going to get trimmed. Not about that life. So wherever you're taking them, you have to switch it up to where it's somewhere good too. So whether it's you just take them down to a park and do a walk around the park, that's not your normal routine. Or honestly, I highly encourage happy visits, both to the veterinarian and to the groomer. It's one of those, they go see the staff, nothing bad happens, nothing scary. There's no pokes, there's no up in their personal business, there's no toenail clippings. It's literally just to go there, get some hellos, get some pets and loves and some cookies. This is actually going to make their experience at the veterinarian or a groomer's office so much better that they're actually going to look forward to going to the vet. And like, yeah, sometimes they get poked and it's not our favorite, but hey, maybe that's not this time. Maybe we're just gonna go and see all the people and just get some loves. If you're unsure whether or not this is an anxiety driven, not wanting to get in the car versus like a car sickness, don't hesitate to reach out. Ask a trainer, ask your veterinarian. That's kind of what we're all here for. That's what we got into the profession for. So don't hesitate to reach out. Ask if you don't know. So this is a good one. Is treat training considered bribery? Does going to your job to get a paycheck count as bribery? No. It doesn't matter how much you love your job or hate your job. You would not go to your job unless they're giving you a paycheck. It is very, 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 very rare that you're gonna go and do work every day, day in, day out, just to do it. Dogs are the same way. This is where that treat training gives them incentive to hang out, and your reward doesn't always have to be food. Granted, when I train, I use a lot of treats because it is the quickest way for me to get your dog's attention, but I also encourage different ways of utilizing your resources. Does your dog thrive on praise and affection? Can we just give them a really, really good scratch and good love and tell them what a wonderful, wonderful dog they are? Is that what's going to get them ticking? You can utilize toys. Toys are a fantastic way to get them to work, and it works the exact same way as what a treat does. It's all in what motivates your dog. What are they willing to work for? For most people, when we go to work, it's for a paycheck. Or maybe you go out and do volunteering because there's that I guess it's the dopamine rush of being helpful and doing good. And seeing the appreciation on people's faces when you're helping. Just like humans, dogs won't do anything that they don't see something in it for themselves. Granted, it's not all about greed. It's all about, if I do this, what do I get out of it? How do I feel about it? How do I feel about myself? Well, I'm willing to go to work for a paycheck, and I am also willing to go and do good deeds because I know at the end of the day it makes me feel good. Right? It's the same thing as offering a dog a cookie versus offering them a verbal and physical reward. So I wouldn't consider it bribery. I consider it just more of an incentive, I guess, is the bottom line on that one. When should I start socializing my puppy? This is a very debated question and topic. Especially working in the veterinary field versus working in the training world, there's significant overlap, and I can tell you that as a trainer, my best friend who works in the veterinary field, her and I butted heads pretty badly, because in the veterinary world they don't want puppies around other dogs until they've had all of their vaccines, which is 16 weeks. That's a lot of time that is lost for socialization. Puppies, everything before 6 months is so important, everything that you can expose them to. And I feel like when people talk about socialization and puppies, it's meant as, when can I get my puppy around other dogs? When can my puppy play with other puppies? We have to keep in mind that socialization is not just about other dogs. It comes to any experience. If you're able to, given that the 4th of July just happened, like if you can get them around fireworks to let them know, hey, fireworks aren't that big of a deal, that's going to help them down the road. Thunderstorms, that's also socialization experience. That, hey, yeah, the sky gets noisy sometimes, but it's okay. Being out in the wilderness, do you realize how much socialization that is? How many different smells and sounds, and there's so much for them to figure out. When it comes to socializing with other canines, it's important to remember that we don't just want puppies around other puppies. We also want them to interact with older dogs who can actually tell them, hey, that's inappropriate behavior, or hey, I don't like that, and show them how to make those corrections. So it's a fantastic idea if you've got friends that you know that their dogs are up to date on vaccines, they're not at daycares and dog parks all the time, where you know that risk of parvo is a lot lower. I recommend going out there. Granted, when it comes to dog parks, I would not introduce a puppy to a dog park at all unless they are at least 6 months of age and have been socialized around other dogs. And the reason for that is, again, those corrections, because not everybody knows how to play nice. I mean, I'm looking at my daughter who is in her hitting phase right now. We all know this is a thing that kids do, but until I teach her that that's not okay, she's gonna hit. Once I tell her and get her to understand hitting's not okay, then she can go be a little less supervised. Like, I can trust her to go and hang out with the other kids from a distance and not have to worry about her hitting them. Same goes with our puppies. And if they don't know how to take correction from another adult, then that adult is just going to get pissed off. It's just like an adult who doesn't understand children. They're just going to get mad. It's going to be a whole thing. Just don't. We're going to have to do dog parks another day, because dog parks are a whole different thing. I don't disagree with dog parks, but I think there is a lot to consider before you actually take your dog to one. This one, I'm actually surprised that I got this one, partly because I feel like it's something that I cover almost every time I talk. I feel like it's something that needs to be said over and over and over and over again, and I'm not afraid to say it over and over and over again. And the question is, how important is consistency in training? It is the most important thing that you can do. If you are not consistent, you are giving your dog mixed signals. If you think about it, like if let's put it in human terms. So if you walk into a job and you have your trainer or your go-to person that's like, here's how you do the things. And they say, well, you're gonna do it this way, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, and you're starting to, you're kind of figuring out, okay, this is how this goes, this is how it makes sense. And then Joe Schmo over here is like, you don't have to do that, just do it like this. Well, which is correct. And so then you're kind of left in that confusion of, okay, with the way that Joe Schmo did it, it's a lot easier, but is it gonna cut issues and it's gonna be a whole thing, and like, is my trainer gonna be mad? And then you've got Susie Q over here that's just like, oh my gosh, your trainer missed a step and you have to do it just like this, otherwise it's a whole thing and you're gonna get in really big trouble, and it's just a whole thing. That is confusing as all get out, and that is the quickest way for a human to leave a company, is going, I don't know what you expect of me. And this is why consistency is so important in training. This is why I recommend anybody that's taking group classes, bring the whole family. Bring everybody. If you're working with like the private sessions, let people know what you're doing. Let your friends know. Ask for friends' help. be like, hey, I paid this person a lot of money. Here's how we're doing it. Can you please be consistent? I feel like asking people for help is a lot better than being like, well, this lady said to do it this way, so this is what we're doing it. Versus approaching them in that, hey, this is what we're doing, this is how we're learning it. Can you kind of help me with this? And if your friend says, well, I don't understand why you're doing it that way, ask your trainer. Any trainer that you're working with should be able to tell you why they're doing things the way that they're doing. And who knows, maybe you'll even surprise them and be like, I never thought of it that way. Let me think about it and get back to you. Because there might be things that, I mean, we as trainers, we're only human too. And I would say a good 99.5% of the time, the reason why we're showing you to do something a specific way is because that's the way that it works. And there's research and studies, and I don't know about all the trainers out there, but I know that I've put a lot of time, money, and effort into learning the things that I know. So just be consistent. And if you don't understand, ask questions. I think that's gonna wrap up this month. I will, I'm gonna make myself a note here to do a little video at some point on dog parks and kind of go over the do's, don'ts, I guess what etiquette is. Also, we've got some group classes coming up here in July and August. I also have my newsletter. If you're interested in signing up for that and you're not already signed up, let me know. I can definitely get you signed up. I've got July 27th, 11 to 4. I'm teaming up with a veterinary technician who does nail trims and whatnot. And then there's also going to be a photographer there who takes pictures, and I will be there kind of giving out some information, as well as I will have some cookies for sale, some homemade healthy dog treats for sale. If you're interested, let me know. I can definitely get that up. Also, another exciting thing that's coming up in August, towards the end of August, I'm going to be doing a webinar on safe interactions between kids and dogs. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. We'll get you signed up. Probably do it online, that way you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I'm Rebecca with Chasing Tails Dog Training. Look forward to seeing you guys in the future, whether it be classes, sessions, group walks, or at my webinar. Until then, take care, like, share on social media, tell your friends, sign up for my newsletter. We hope to see you guys soon. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.